Hello and welcome back to Esoteric Ramblings. I'm Jesse Arnold, and today I'm going to be giving you my initial reaction / review to the first 2 episodes of WandaVision. Alright folks, it's finally here. The first MCU-related TV show officially that will connect directly into the movies in some regard. So, as much as I love the Netflix shows, and I know so many other people do, these are official, these are real, and I do want to see those Netflix characters roll into the movies, or at least the official MCU at some point. But today, we've got WandaVision. And they gave us the first 2 episodes, and it is a lot of fun. Like with The Mandalorian, I've been watching with my mom. I'm watching WandaVision with my mom, so I call her up in Florida, and we sync up the show and watch it at the same time. And my mom had a real blast with these first 2 episodes because she was around for all of these shows that they're kind of referencing and spoofing in this. So as soon as it starts off, she's like, "Oh, I love Lucy. Oh, Dick Van Dyke Show." And it was just a lot of fun seeing her get excited about Marvel stuff in a different way than I do, or than she has to the movies. So, Mom, thank you so much for watching these with me and The Mandalorian. It has been a blast, and I can't wait to watch more stuff with you. So, saying thank you. Okay, WandaVision. Like with Mandalorian, I'm not going to give any spoilers or anything that I think is a spoiler until I put up a warning sign, and that'll come later in this episode. The show was delayed, I believe, a little bit, all because of COVID and all of those things, so I think the build-up and anticipation for it has been a little higher than initially expected, just because we're all so hungry for more content like this. And I for one, am not disappointed at all. The production values, the acting, everything about this is 100% on par, if not, rivaling the movies in some regards, because they're doing something different, in where, at least in the first 2 episodes, they're trying very intentionally to mimic and evoke the feelings of specific old sitcoms, which is the whole point of the show. And they said that they wanted to do this like a show and not just a broken up movie in episodes. So it's really fun, the different little things. I won't get too into depth about like all the fun things in it, because that's half of the enjoyment of the show, is seeing the different little things they do. I will say this, at least through the first 2 episodes, there's not a real clear indication as to what is going on or why things are happening the way they are. As spoiler alert, if you've not watched Endgame, the last time we saw Vision in Infinity War, he was a crumbled piece of gray and white machinery, and we never saw anything of him in Endgame, so we don't really know what's going on. I will, in the spoilers, post some, or mention some of my, not so much theories, but a few things that came into my head as being a possibility. I will say this one thing. No, I'll save that for the spoilers, because it's kind of about some of the jokes in the show. But yeah, the first 2 episodes, each show or each episode is kind of a different era or theme of show. At least these first 2 have been, and it's so funny. Like, there's definitely like a tension and a what's going on, and this kind of ominous feeling in some aspects, but especially into the second one. But they're also really funny. It feels like they're established sitcoms with these characters in it, and it's fantastic. I'm really enjoying it so far. So yeah, the first 2 episodes, you're not going to get a whole lot of true in-depth what's going on Marvel Universe aspect of it. I think there's hints at things, and things that will definitely lead out, and maybe by the time it's over, be like, oh, that's what that was, kind of stuff. But face value on the surface, it's a fun show. I can't wait to see where the rest of this story goes with these characters, and the possibilities that this show holds. So with that said, I'm going to go to spoilers now. So if you don't want to know anything specific about these 2 episodes, stop watching now. Okay. So if you are online at all on any form of social media, you've probably seen some of the teasers or the reveals some people have had about Sword logo showing up in the show, and that is 100% accurate, or at least a logo that is very much intended to look like a Sword logo. So my whole thought at this point is maybe Sword has Wanda in kind of a Matrix Truman Show type thing where they're trying to keep her happy. Because there's a phrase that gets repeated. I don't think it was in the first episode, but in the second episode they keep referencing "for the children," because they're doing a magic show or a talent show as a fundraiser for the children, and it's kind of got this very like Stepford Wives, Hot Fuzz, the greater good kind of vibe. It's just a weird mantra. Someone says it, everybody repeats it. This is the way, and it's kind of weird. And then they say it again. Wanda and Vision say it together, kind of jokingly about the whole situation. And again, if you've seen any of the production art or photos from the show, you know that there is a plot involving her twins, or at least babies. And suddenly she's pregnant. And then something happens. Something ominous happens. And while she's watching this happen, she just says no and kind of rewinds time back to the moment where her and Vision are just happy in realizing she's pregnant. So maybe she's fighting against whatever's going on, and that's her way of escape. So maybe Sword is monitoring them, or maybe Nick Fury is that station we see him at the end of Spider-Man Far From Home is a Sword station, the orbital space station or whatever, and he is with Sword trying to prevent from external attacks or whatever, and he's got someone on the inside like looking out for her post the events of Endgame. So that maybe one of the Wandas we've seen was a Skrull. I don't know if this is going to lead to Secret Invasion, because that's definitely one of the Disney Plus shows. So it's a lot of stuff to think about in What If. I'm not going to get too hung up on that idea, because I just want to enjoy the show for what it is. But that's my thought, is maybe it's Sword and or Nick Fury, or some of these things tying together. So one of my favorite lines is they're doing a magic show in the second episode, and one of the characters, they do a trick, and Wanda keeps doing things to make Vision's powers or her powers just look like a stage trick. And they do something, and she just reveals, oh, there's a bunch of mirrors behind us, that's why it looked like this. And the one audience member is like, is that how mirrors work? And I don't know why, but that just struck me as so funny. And just the deadpan delivery of it, and there is sincerity of it, it made me laugh very much. So I think this is a great show. I can't wait to see where the rest of it goes. There's definitely lots of Easter eggs referencing Sword in this, or something that, if it's not Sword, I don't know what it's going to be. But yeah, I can't wait to see what other shows. I mean, you get some ideas from the previews, what other shows they're going to reference, but how it all plays out and where it's all going. I'm very intrigued. I'm very excited, especially because Monica Rambeau is supposed to show up in here at some point as an adult, and she's very closely connected with, of course, Carol Danvers and Captain Marvel, being the child, the daughter of her best friend in the movie and one of her best friends in the comics. So I can't wait to see where the rest of this goes. So that's it for my review rundown for episodes 1 and 2 of WandaVision. And but yeah, great production, music, everything is really great, and I can't wait to see more. We'll see you next time.